And a look behind the curtain here. Final preparations for the champ. Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to Two.
Great to have you with us. We are set to get you over the hump this Wednesday night with another edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Brian Anderson with Clark Kellogg and Grant Hill. Allie LaForce with us on the sidelines. Now the opening lineup for Atlanta. They've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Rudy Gobert is out there with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Then there's Davis, and it's Tatum in at the small forward position. Now here's Tatum, down low. Oh, it's blocked by Wembanyama.
With his length and energy, Wembanyama has the ability to be a game-changing defender.
And it's time to take another look at that powerful block.
Tell you what, early in the game, these kinds of plays can really set the tone.
Here's SGA. And these teams have been prepping for the season tip-off game for months, Grant.
Oh, and for the players, the main feeling on opening night is relief. You know, being all that hard work during the offseason and preseason is finally over. And now it's time to have some fun.
Leonard, good.
Mechanically so efficient and smooth. Leonard off the catch there.
Leonard against Gilgeous-Alexander. Pass to Davis. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. 6 on the shot clock. And they call an illegal screen here.
One of the trickier plays to judge, but it would be hard to argue against the call.
Yeah, you know, the officials aren't nearly as lenient as they used to be on that call. As a matter of fact, I know I got away with a lot of those in my playing days, but that was 40 years ago.
Now here's Durant. The shot, no good. About a minute and a half through the first quarter. All right, we've now got our 2K insider, Shams Charania, on the line. He's got a special report. Shams, it's all yours.
Thanks, guys. Well, head coach Mike Brown taking over this season for New York. He's well aware of the pressure to win a championship with the Knicks fresh off an Eastern Conference Finals run. But he said this is the kind of pressure you want as a coach, having a chance to win big. And he's excited for the challenge.
You got to respect that mindset. All right, Shams, thanks very much. Now here's Leonard. Pass to Durant. Gets his second attempt to go. Now he's 1 for 2.
Durant with tremendous touch. He's just a natural scorer.
Gilgeous-Alexander looking it over.
And they made their way into the top 5 in team offense also. They ran a perfect system for the talent they had in place.
And you look at their assist, top 5 in the league, specifically because of how committed they were to moving the ball and making sure they got great looks. Now here's Durant, and let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
A bit ago, Mike Brown and I were able to chat. He spoke about their defensive schemes tonight, especially in relation to Anthony Davis. He said it's essential that we limit his impact. We have to stay strong inside and not allow Davis to intimidate us no matter what. Strong words from coach. We'll see if his guys can make it happen. Brian, back to you.
Appreciate the report, Allie. Now here's SGA. Back to Tatum. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. That falls. Nice feed that time from Tatum.
Outside, inside, in between, it doesn't matter. SGA is lethal.
Here's James. Back to Durant. Now James fires from the wing. Rebound, Anthony Davis.
And even with the miss, that's a high percentage shot for him.
Clark, over the last few seasons, LeBron's three-point shooting has been more efficient than ever.
Yeah, how about this, B.A.? Since 24, he's right around 40% from deep on 5 attempts per game. So that's really impressive. And, you know, a guy like him, his greatness, part of his greatness is how he continues to reinvent his game, making modest modifications to what he does.
And there's James from the arc. And after missing his first 3 shots, he drains it. 1 for 4.
He's trying to get it going offensively, but right now just 1 of 4 to start.
Pass to Davis. Back to SGA. Lets it fly. And it's New York with a rebound. We've got 33 seconds left to play in the first. James finds Leonard. From behind the arc. Again, the miss by James.
He's having trouble getting anything to go right now.
Here's Antetokounmpo. Oh, and Giannis hammers it in.
The sheer power of Antetokounmpo goes up and throws it down hard. That is impressive.
Holmgren with a screen on Antetokounmpo. Leonard for 3. No good. Would have counted had it gone. It's a tie game in New York. And the second quarter is on its way when we return. And some good action in the books as we get back to a game that's been pretty close so far here. And from what we've seen from New York, what's your take so far?
Well, you have to imagine they're feeling pretty confident the way things have gone.
I agree with you. I mean, they hit the ground running, had a strong start to the game, but they're hoping they can manage the rest of the way.
All right, this is how the floor looks for the Hawks starting the second. They've got Giannis Antetokounmpo. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is out there with Davis. Then there's Jason Tatum, and it's Gobert in at the four-man position. Now, here is James. Here's Holmgren, and the big finish by Holmgren.
Yeah, the defense making it way too easy for Holmgren. Gotta push him farther out than this.
Right side, Tatum. Ooh, rugged finish from Tatum.
You got to appreciate the consistency. Night in and night out, he brings it.
Tatum against James. Pass to Durant. Here's James. Inside. Holmgren. And the big finish by Holmgren.
Oh, so much size. Holmgren barely has to jump.
Outside Tatum. To the middle. And stolen by Holmgren. All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Well, Chet Holmgren checked some boxes. He said if you can play defense and shoot the ball, you can pretty much play on any court, anywhere. Those are two things that are always needed on the basketball court, and that's where the foundation of my game started. Back to you.
A unique talent. Thank you very much for the report, Allie. Now, here is James. Back to Holmgren. Puts up a three. The shot's good on the assist by James. James has got 3 assists tonight.
And after a scoreless first quarter, he's finding his offense.
Here's SGA. He's got 6. Pass to Davis. Stolen by Wembanyama. Durant with it. And Davis picks him up defensively. Durant, the pass to James. Can't connect. Making him 1 for 6 from the field. And Tatum's got the ball here for the Atlanta Hawks. Trailing by 2. Following this one, they hit the road to challenge the Kings at Golden One Center in Sacramento. That'll put them right in the middle of a 5-game road trip. The Knicks have gotten 3 of 4 field goals in the second quarter. Grant, LeBron has had so much recognition over the years. And truly, he might not get enough credit for what he's meant to the NBA.
Yeah, you might be right, B.A. Truly a global ambassador for the game of basketball. He set the standard for what a superstar can be, really, in any sport. And just unable to get anything going tonight. I mean, his teammates have really built.
Oh, big finish!
Man! How about the flash by Antetokounmpo? I mean, just an insanely talented athlete who loves to punish that rim.
Thanks to AT&T for that fantastic look from their connected cam. Outside Durant to the inside. Here's Holmgren over Gobert. Rudy Gobert with a rebound. Atlanta's gone 1 of 2 from deep in the second quarter. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. And here's Tatum. Back to SGA. There's the triple. Great touch from deep. Gilgeous-Alexander.
Defenses used to be able to live with Shai taking that shot, but that's not the case anymore.
Now Durant. And here's James. Hounded by Tatum. And Giannis Antetokounmpo picks up that foul. That's his first foul. Thanks for that great view, courtesy of the AT&T Connected Cam. Here's Durant. James outside. 5 to shoot. Over Tatum.
You hate to pile on, but his poor shooting night has really hurt the team.
Outside Gilgeous-Alexander. No one near him. That falls. Nice feed that time from Tatum. Now it's a 5-point Atlanta lead.
And they've really been more consistent from the field this quarter.
Adding to their lead, and you see that field goal percentage for the game steadily heading north.
Durant, no good.
Got the ball where he wanted it, but then got swarmed.
Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Antetokounmpo. Three-pointer. Oh, and the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. What a performance for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He has been the story for Atlanta, helping them space the floor. 2 triples in that quarter, 3 for the game. We'll be right back with you shortly.
Please direct your attention to second quarter and get ready for the fan half-court shot. Give me a beat. They're measuring up the shot.
Welcome. All right, guys, let's break it down. It has not been the ideal start for the New York Knicks.
Limiting turnovers has helped. Give their ball handlers props. They've been smart with the decision-making.
They're certainly running the offense well. You know the coaching staff loves to see this. Taking a peek now at the upcoming schedule.
A look here now at New York. You really get to see what they're made of after your hard work in the offseason.
Yeah, you have big changes, and then you have subtle changes. Everything in preparation for this moment.
Appreciate you joining us. It's been our distinct pleasure, and I mean that. Let's now take you back over to the third quarter with Brian Anderson.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple of quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. You have to like what we're seeing from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
And you know what? I'll be interested to see just how much he's got left in the tank. That first half had to take a lot out of him.
The Hawks lead by 5. Kevin Durant is out there with LeBron James. Then there's Wembanyama. Then there's Holmgren. And it's Leonard in at the 3. That's the group starting the second half for Mike Brown. They get it back. Here's Gobert. Gobert showing his skill inside.
And they just continue to dominate the boards.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
The 3, James. That's good. And so Durant with the assist. 6 points for LeBron James. And it sure seems like post play has evolved quite a bit over the past decade or 2.
It really has. I mean, there aren't many big men who operate only on the low block anymore. But if they do, they're considered throwbacks.
Always among the league leaders in throwdowns, AD's tough around that rack.
Durant against Antetokounmpo. Puts it up from 15. Durant, no good. The Hawks have got 2 of 3 from the floor in this third quarter. SGA passes to Davis. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's all from three-point range.
And you just can't afford to give up that kind of look very often.
James outside. To the paint. And stolen by Gobert. Here's SGA. It's good. And he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play opportunity. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has made the move from star to superstar, Grant.
Well, no question, B.A. He's been a superstar for quite a few seasons now, but he's not satisfied and just continues to elevate his game year after year.
Just over a minute and a half played in the third. The 3, Durant. New York again can't hit.
I'll tell you what, they've been aggressive and they've been physical.
Well, they're working the glass, really battling in that area of the game, and that's helped them stake this lead.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
Thank you, B.A. The Hawks star Trae Young and Coach Quinn Snyder are both very close. Young said that's the type of relationship we have. It's not forced, it's just genuine. We both want to see each other succeed, and we know we need each other and everybody else around us. Guys, back over to you.
A good partnership. Thanks much for the report, Allie. And so Mike Brown decides to call a timeout. A moment to rest and confer on the game plan. Let's examine the distribution between threes and twos tonight for the Knicks.
They're killing it from the arc right now, but limiting their attempts. If they let themselves shoot a little more liberally from the three-point line, they'd probably be well rewarded.
Knicks trail by 11. James outside. James strong inside.
The defense knows they got to throw everything at James inside, but he still manages to power through it.
SGA passes to Davis. And here's SGA outside. That one falls. Coming off Davis' feed. Davis has got 3 assists in the game. And so it's New York with it. Following this game, they host the Magic. James, a screen on Davis. Wembanyama finds James. Six to shoot.
2 minutes remaining in the third.
Ooh, that's easy work for LeBron inside.
And time again, James beating the clock.
Outside, SGA. Again, Atlanta.
Their ball movement on this run has been tremendous. It's led to a lot of good, clean, open looks.
Durant against Antetokounmpo. Out to James. It's stolen by Tatum. He's got a clear path. Here's Davis. Oh, it's blocked by Wembanyama.
You know, I don't care how close you are to the cup. If Wemby is lurking, you got to do something else.
And now it's time to take another view of that huge swat.
Oh, now that was a block. Some much-needed energy there to jumpstart them back into this game.
We've got 1:08 left in the third quarter. Pass to Gobert. Clock at 6. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. SGA, what a finish.
Boy, he's been a monster this quarter, carrying the load for sure.
James outside. There's 42 seconds left to play in the third. New York working the ball around now. Here's Leonard. Rebounded by the Hawks. Gobert's got his 4th rebound in this one.
I'll tell you what, they've rebounded the ball tremendously well.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Now here's SGA. 14 points, their largest margin of the game. Oh, and Gobert powers it home.
He just rises up and throws it down hard with one hand.
That is such a go-to move for him. He holds nothing back on those.
Does it as well as anybody, fellas. Tremendous skill while in the air.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Hawks ahead. They lead by 14. We'll take a quick break and then get you back to the action. Quinn Snyder with some words for his players.
Let's just keep playing.
No doubt these players, GA, are eager to get the season going.
Listen, there's definitely some nerves, but it's mainly excitement. This is their first chance to showcase all the hard work they put in during the offseason.
So the New York starting five. Brandon Miller out there with Jakob Poeltl. And it's Nikola Jokic. Then there's Jason Tatum. And it's Anunoby in a point. Now here's Tatum. And the layup's good off the glass.
And Tatum doesn't get distracted easily, even when you get physical with it.
Pass to Curry, and stolen by Tatum. Drives to the hoop, and slam dunk by Tatum.
Excellent on both ends of that play.
Yeah, the steal was sharp, but the slam topped it off.
What a great sequence. You gotta love the effort. That's big time.
Now here's Curry. Can't hit that one. Great D that time from Tatum. Now in his late 30s, Steph Curry, Tim, continues to be a dominant force.
Well, his conditioning is on a world-class level, Kevin. He's never been one to beat you with his explosiveness, so his plan is just to outlast his opponents.
And the first one at the line is good. And we've got our 2K insider, Shams Charania, on the line. Shams, what's the story?
Well, guys, the Knicks look to go a little deeper down their bench this season. To that end, they signed veterans Jordan Clarkson and Gershon Yabusele. They fortified their reserves, and they hope it will bolster their roster for another deep playoff run.
Putting them in a good position. All right, Shams, we appreciate the report. Even after pivoting towards their youth, GA the Hawks last season had an improved record.
Yeah, they traded away a bunch of rotation veterans, but the young fellas showed they were ready to step in, and this group didn't miss a beat.
Now Green, after Jason Tatum missed on that last three-pointer. Ball, the pass to Siakam. Atlanta again missing.
I'm shocked that it didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Pass to Tatum. And Draymond Green picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Anunoby. His last outing, 16 points for him. In the corner, Tatum with it. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Shoots over Gilgeous-Alexander.
And this is a part of SGA's game. He can use his speed to disrupt.
Curry's shot is good.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Here's Tatum. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Tatum setting the pick for Miller. To the middle. Poeltl, the pass to Jokic. Out to Miller. Shoots. The shot, no good. And so Siakam will bring it up for the Atlanta Hawks. First chance of the season for them to go up against this Knicks team. Ball, a screen on Jokic. From deep. Atlanta now working with a new shot clock. Jokic against Curry. 5 to shoot. That puts them in the lead.
So much confidence from Ball. Been doing that since he was a youngin'.
Knicks trail by 3. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And here's Tatum for 3. Ball with the rebound. Atlanta's gone 3 of 6, 50% from deep so far tonight. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And a hard-nosed defensive identity for this Knicks. But, GA, there's been some slippage.
Well, the challenge has been their 2 best offensive players get targeted at the other end. The adage, you're only as strong as your weakest link, it has some truth to it.
The first one falls.
And the growth we've seen from SGA over the years has really been incredible, and it's a testament to that work ethic. He puts in the time every offseason to add something.
Gilgeous-Alexander hits them both. And last season, Tim, Paul Millsap retired. He was an all-star in each of his 4 years in Atlanta.
Well, he helped guide the Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals back in 2015. That team overachieved through chemistry, and this group hopes to do the same thing.
And so Mike Brown calls a timeout. He's going to take a minute here to get things straightened out. With a pause in the action, let's show you the teams that were best from the line last season. Number 5, the Knicks.
Well, they were just automatic from the line a year ago. You did not want to foul these guys.
.116 left in the first quarter of the game. Anunoby against Siakam. Miller with a wide open look. And the Knicks miss again. Now let's take a minute to talk to Allie LaForce courtside. Allie.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. OG Anunoby is so disruptive. He's led the league in steals. And he said, I want to be the defensive player of the year. I've always thought I was the best defender in the league. I'm athletic enough, strong enough, and smart enough to defend every single position. Back to you guys.
Very confident. Thanks so much for the report, Allie. Anunoby passes to Tatum. New York moving the ball around. And Jokic wide open. He shoots. Buries the long-range jumper.
And you just can't give Jokic any breathing room because he is a threat to fire from anywhere.
Pass the ball. He got 13 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Curry with the bucket.
Nice answer back there. Love to see the competitor.
And when you give up a three, there's always this instinct to try and get it back immediately.
Jokic fires from way outside. And so the first quarter is in the books. Hawks on top as they end the first quarter with a big 11-3 run. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Hawks.
Well, they haven't wasted any time getting into a groove from deep, putting up and hitting a healthy amount of three-pointers thus far.
And their ball movement has been next level. When your team is playing unselfishly like this, that is tough to beat.
So with Johnson sitting on the bench, here's the 5 for Quinn Snyder right now. We've got Stephen Curry, Gilgeous-Alexander out there with Pascal Siakam. Then it's Ball, and it's Green in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Right, we see a lot of change in the NBA, but Nikola Jokic always seems to stay in the MVP conversation.
And not just in it, at the top of it. His ability to affect the game is basically unmatched. He dominates in just about every single aspect.
Here's Siakam after New York gets the 3. Pass to Green. Just 3 to shoot. Gilgeous-Alexander, that's a two-pointer. Misses the jumper.
He typically dominates that area of the floor. It just didn't drop.
Here's Jokic, guarded by Green. It's stolen by Green. And here is Ball. Now, here's Siakam. On its way from Curry for 2. The shot's good on the assist by Siakam.
Well, defending Curry before he catches the ball is so important. He's got such a quick release.
Tatum against SGA. And it's Miller atop the key. Shot clock at 6. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. And a quick look at how Atlanta's schedule shaping up. On Wednesday, they'll be matching up against DeMar DeRozan and the Sacramento Kings. And then on Thursday, they'll be taking on Lauri Markkanen and the Utah Jazz.
And for their matchup with Phoenix, it's going to be game number 4 for them during the start of this NBA campaign. They'll want to get off to a hot start to the year.
To the inside, Gilgeous-Alexander with the steal. And Curry has it in the corner. Pass the ball. Siakam outside. Now Curry fires the 3. Beautiful stroke from Curry on the 3. And legs from going undrafted to becoming a 3-point contest champion, you had to fight for your place in the NBA.
Well, Kevin, that's an understatement. Yes, undrafted in '88. I played in just about every league imaginable, including a year in France. Had a bunch of 10-day contracts early on, but I didn't get my first full-time NBA contract until 1993 with the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, your perseverance and tenacity definitely paid off.
Certainly didn't take no for an answer, I can tell you that.
There's Siakam. Jason Tatum picking up that last basket. Curry dishes the ball. Siakam outside. Green with a screen for Siakam. Outside Green. Here's the 3. Good, and a nice assist from Siakam. Siakam's got his 3rd assist on the night. Knicks trail by 8. Outside Tatum. Gilgeous-Alexander with the steal. Curry from deep 3-point land. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Pass to Jokic. Now Anunoby, guarded by Curry. And the shot will not go from Anunoby. Atlanta leading by 8. Siakam kicks the ball. Outside Curry. Off target from 3-point range. Curry against Tatum. 27 seconds left in the first half. 6 on the shot clock. Jokic draws the double. Here's Anunoby. New York, no good that time either. Siakam passes to SGA. He gets that one. Gilgeous-Alexander's got the lead up to 10 now for the Hawks. Here's Anunoby. And that one released in time, but no good. And so it's Atlanta with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. And we'll be back with you shortly.
Hey, folks, and welcome. This first half has been the Stephen Curry show. He has just been everywhere.
Well, we've gotten used to performances like this from Curry. With his handles, his range, he can get any shot he wants, and off the ball, he consistently and constantly moves.
Well, I wonder how many miles he runs in the night just running off picks.
Probably I would say 3 to 4 miles just running off picks alone. 3 more just bringing it up. Probably a 9-mile night.
And now here's something that's always interesting. Let's see what the fans are up to on social media. Here's an interesting one from No Foolin' Julian. What's another sport you think you could have gone pro in?
Football, I would have been a tight end. Maybe block some field goals. Do whatever it takes.
I think I could have did soccer. Dribbling's dribbling, right?
I guess some people might say that, Jet, but either way, I'd pay good money to see both of you in those endeavors. And that about wraps it up. And as the third quarter is about to begin, we go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. One guy who's been getting it done so far, Stephen Curry.
Yeah, and through the first 2 quarters, he has been the offense for this team.
Well, and I expect they're going to continue to lean on him as we continue in this game. Why not? The way he's playing right now offensively.
And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for the Knicks. It's a 10-point game. And GA, you started your career with the Knicks. What memories do you have from your time in New York?
Well, after winning a championship in college, it was great to play for a team in the NBA that had similar aspirations. So many great veterans to learn from and a Hall of Fame coach.
Second half underway, and here's who Mike Brown's got on the floor. Dr. Pirtle out there with Jokic. Then it's OG Anunoby. Then there's Brandon Miller. And it's Tatum in at the 2 spot. Knicks trail by 7. Jokic passes to Anunoby. Back to Jokic. Fires for 3. Wow, came this close to a 4-point play. He'll head to the line for 3 free throws.
And being such a good passer out of that 5 spot makes Jokic a triple-double machine.
It's his first trip to the line.
How about up over the 80% mark from the line last year? So he's happy and also consistent there with those numbers.
Free throw, good. Jokic. And a shift in the front office for the Atlanta Hawks this past summer. Tim, what do you think might have led to that pivot?
Well, Atlanta has missed the playoffs for 2 straight seasons, but their young pool of talent is demonstrating they've gotten some of these right.
He hits the second from the line.
And if you were to assemble a first-team all-second rounders, Jokic would be a shoo-in.
And he makes all 3.
A big man with a nice shooting stroke. You'll love to see it.
The Hawks leading by 4. Siakam outside. That falls. Nice feed that time from Ball. Ball's got 3 assists in the game. And so here is New York. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. Tatum finds Jokic. Over Green. The bucket is good. He'll have a chance for one more. They get Stephen Curry.
Sweet move by Jokic against the contact, adjusting and getting the and one opportunity.
Well, Greg, you've had a long NBA career, so I'm curious, what's one of the biggest changes you've noticed since you've retired?
Well, you know, one that doesn't get talked about enough, length. You know, players these days are just longer, especially in the backcourt and that wing position. It feels like every team has a guy 6'9" or taller that is a pure perimeter player.
And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Let's check in now with our Allie LaForce, who's got a story for us. Allie?
Thanks a lot, guys. Well, this Knicks team has grit. Jalen Brunson said, quote, "No matter what the situation is, we are going to attack it. No matter who's in front of us, we are going to grind." Back to you, Kevin.
No quit. All right, Allie, we thank you very much. Now, here's Anunoby. Following the miss by Pascal Siakam. Here's Tatum. Just 2 to shoot. And here's Miller outside. Rebound, Atlanta. Ball's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Greg, you talk about some players passing the eye test. LaMelo is one of those guys.
I mean, everything he does looks so easy with how he moves, and the numbers back up what the eye sees. He raises the level of his team whenever he's on the court.
Here's Tatum following the bucket by the Hawks. Jokic kicks to Anunoby. Hurdle with a screen on Curry. In the corner, Tatum with it. Here's Jokic. Ooh, the touch from Jokic.
And after an abysmal first half from the field, the shots now starting to fall.
Gilgeous-Alexander surveying the D. Green with a screen for Gilgeous-Alexander. On the 3 off target.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Anunoby kicks to Tatum. Beyond the arc. The kick out to Anunoby. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
And when you can't get anything to fall, it definitely gets in your head.
If he can just make a couple of buckets, though, this can all be put in his rearview mirror. Yeah, it's been a tough game for him with his shooting. Fortunately, the rest of the team has picked him up, and they have the lead.
Tatum down low. Curry meets him. Shots good by Miller.
Loves hitting those threes, especially off movement. It makes Miller so tough to defend.
For Atlanta, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. And Quinn Snyder wants a timeout. He's ready to talk things through with them. Right now, let's bring up the 2K leaderboard and see the teams that really knew how to clog the passing lanes last season. The Hawks second.
You could tell by watching them how much they enjoyed playing defense. They seem to have an endless reserve of energy flying around and pressuring the basketball.
.56 seconds left here in the third quarter. Pass the ball. Back to SGA. Atlanta again missing. And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for New York. Since halftime, they've only allowed 5 points. Here's Jokic. New York moving the ball around. And Tatum the bucket on the assist by Pirtle. Tatum's got 9.
You expect Tatum to be around that 40% mark from deep. Very reliable from 3.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. SGA against Anunoby. 5 on the clock. SGA passes to Siakam. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Knicks lead by 2. We'll be back shortly live from State Farm Arena. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
Yeah, right there, he wasn't a ball stopper. He kept his eyes up and his options open.
3/10 quarters behind us. And more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. So with Johnson sitting on the bench. Here's the 5 for Quinn Snyder right now. They've got LaMelo Ball. Siakam is up there with Gilgeous-Alexander. Then there's Draymond Green, and it's Curry in at the 2-guard spot. Now, here's Anunoby, and Stephen Curry with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. And so here is New York. They trail by 1. Miller surveying the floor. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Jokic. That's in, coming off an assist from Miller.
Capable of being a very potent scorer. Jokic certainly has looked focused so far in this one.
Green with a screen on Miller. Ball dishes to Curry. Here's Ball. Curry on the wing. Back to Ball. Over Tatum. Ball with the bucket. And the Hawks lead by 1.
Ball shooting for him might not be textbook, but all that matters is that it's effective.
Jokic with a screen on Curry. Jokic kicks to Anunoby. Good on the triple. Anunoby's got his first 3 points of the game.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triples.
And we'll have a timeout called by Quinn Snyder. It's a chance for them to regroup and refocus. And now let's swing it over to Allie LaForce on the sideline.
Well, Quinn Snyder had some words for his team over the break. He was very upbeat and positive, saying to his guys, let's go. I want you guys to up the pace. Look to push the ball up the floor whenever you can. They cannot stop us in transition. Let's see how the team responds. Guys?
Thank you, Allie. So it's Atlanta now. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Green with a screen on Anunoby. SGA kicks to Curry. Clock at 6. Jokic pulls it down.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Here's Miller. Now Jokic. Anunoby fires. Trying again. Jokic with the toughness on the glass.
Not everything fell for him in that first half, and now it looks like they're beginning to hit their stride.
Outside, Siakam for 3, and there's the 3.
This is exactly why they go to him in these spots. These guys believe in his ability to come through in the clutch.
And so Anunoby will bring it up for the Knicks. It's a 1-point game. Here's Tatum. Now Miller. Now Jokic. Siakam with the rebound. Now SGA. Left side, Ball. Tatum against Gilgeous-Alexander. Gilgeous-Alexander puts it up and through.
Well, it's a pivotal point in this game, and you expect SGA to step up.
Jokic against Green. Now, here's Jokic. Defense is right there. Anunoby. The 3 doesn't go.
And you know what? If you're the defense, you got him right where you want him. Let him keep shooting those threes because he's been brutal in this half.
Oh, here's Curry. And the three misses.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Jokic inside. By Green. Outside, Anunoby. Here's Miller. Takes the three. Green rips down the board. This is a huge possession.
And this is where all the hard work pays off. You have to be able to execute under pressure.
And the foul called on OG Anunoby. That's foul number 2 for him.
And really just a great play to sacrifice his body and take the charge.
They've allowed just 7 points here in the fourth quarter. They'll be trying to take as much time off the clock as they can.
Exactly. Expect to see longer possessions from this point on.
6-second difference between shot and game clock.
And even though he didn't get a piece of that shot, you love the pressure he puts on the shooter.
And sometimes that's all you need to do to force that miss.
And so it's Mike Brown here calling timeout. The magnitude at this juncture in the game clearly warranting a timeout. Well, given the scenario here, how do you approach this next possession?
Yeah, always intriguing to see what a coach draws up in this situation.
I am really curious to see what he's got in store here.
Tatum looking around. Count it.
Well, what a steady presence offensively and a very difficult player to game plan for.
So a close game sees New York take this one. This win, such a tremendous emotional boost for them.
Really an accomplishment and crazy finish to take a road game like this and simply deflate an entire building.
Now let's check in with Allie LaForce on the sideline. What do you have for us, Allie?
Thank you. I'm here with Jason Tatum. And Jason, congratulations on the win. What did you like about this team's performance tonight?
Our toughness. And, you know, we figuring it out. It's early, but we taking it game by game, quarter by quarter, and everybody contributing. So, you know, I liked it.
Thanks, Jason.
Terrific, Allie. Thanks. That concludes the first game of the NBA season. Alongside Tim Legler, Greg Anthony, and our reporter, Allie LaForce, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, folks. And now we present the player of the game, Nikola Jokic.